Hello, everyone. My name is Mary, and I lead content and brands at Netguru. And I'm meeting today Aleksander Drubkowski from Decathlon, or the French way of pronunciation would be Decathlon. Hello, Aleksander.
Hello, everyone. My name is Aleksander. Nice to meet you today in this nice June morning.
Decathlon is a quite impressive company. I know you're going to share some details later on, but just to kick things off, you guys have 1,900 stores worldwide across 80 countries, like more than 80 countries. So having said that, we have to state that it is the largest sports goods retailer in the world. And I wasn't aware of that.
It's correct. Like once you look at the number of 82, like it seems basically like a simple number. But if you correlate this number with the number of people worldwide that Decathlon is supporting and empowering with the sport, it's nearly 8 billion of people in the world, and from starting from USA until Japan. So yes, undoubtedly this is the biggest sports retailer in the world.
Aleksander, what do you do exactly at the company? Your formal title is Director E-commerce Operations and Development Central Eastern Europe. But what does that mean in practice?
That means in practice that basically I'm supporting the tech functions and analytics functions in Poland, but as well in this region of the Central Eastern Europe. Like if we look lately, what I'm mostly doing is like right now the helping and assisting in digital transformation of the Decathlon. So over a few weeks, Decathlon has been switched the platform. The platform that basically is having its mission to accelerate, to scale, and implement the decision to move on, right? So that's the main core of what I was doing recently. And once we look at this new platform, we are thinking that this platform is intended to be the single scalable modular platform, which will basically adapt for the changing realities of digital. But it's not only this. The brand itself evolved over years, right? Basically, the Decathlon is not only the largest sporting good retailer. You need to keep in mind that as well, we are creating all of the sports ecosystem, which means that the Decathlon right now is responsible for organizing the sports event via Decathlon Go. But as well, it's selling. You can buy the used products from Decathlon within the second life. But as well, if you have a Decathlon products, and I assume you have, do you have a Decathlon products at home at least? I hope.
Definitely, yeah.
Great. So keep imagine the moment that one day after you will evolve as a sportsman, and I believe you will do one day, you will want to sell it back, and we have a buyback. But then one moment, if you want to, for example, move on and want to go really pro, you'll be thinking, hey, should I buy the new bike? But it costs a lot. So maybe I should take a try and rent it. So Decathlon as well has a function of the rent. So keep in mind that the new platform needs to somehow include all of those basically the parts of the business. So if you imagine, for example, the customer journey at the Decathlon website, you are seeing that you can buy the product, but as well rent the product, but as well enroll yourself for the sports event. So the new platform basically needs to adapt its journey with technological capabilities to encompass all of the points. And moreover than this as well, like the new platform that we have recently launched in Poland. Obviously, our competition, we are the strongest, but our competition is getting harsh and harsh. So obviously, we need to technologically advance to catch up with them. And recently, basically, this platform is being evolved in order to be ready for this new biggest trend, AI revolution, right? So AI readiness in the form of the search, AI readiness in the form of basically penetration of the website, but as well AI readiness in a sense that you will be visible with your offer online.
Aleksander, do you think you could share with our audience and with me just how important e-commerce is to Decathlon nowadays? I'm thinking about the ratio of sales coming in from brick and mortar retail and e-commerce. If you cannot, that's absolutely fine.
The only thing I can say, it's a double digit. The only say I can say that this is very important part, because
it's growing. Of course, it's growing and growing. E-commerce.
Yes, obviously it's growing, and it's very important, and especially it's very important in all of this online ecosystem. So especially the Decathlon is the omni-channel business, right? So we have a lot of stores, but as well the customer's decision needs to be supported with the online, because you need to keep in mind one point. Decathlon represents 70 sports. So try to imagine a store that can include all of the possible products that are in the Decathlon offer. That's no way. That's no go. So actually, the biggest online store that includes the store that includes all of the products that is available in the Decathlon offer, you can find on online. So this is super important here. Moreover than this, like the Decathlon plays, and it's very important in the sense of the omni-channel, and one of the best, basically the connecting point as part of the ecosystem, is the mobile app. The mobile app that basically we are strongly investing, but as well what we are seeing, the customers are liking using our mobile app, because of the aspect that basically the mobile app includes of course the offer, but as well it's a very strong bridge for the customers' loyalty. Like imagine the case right now within the Decathlon mobile app, you are getting rewards not only for example the purchases online, but as well for doing the sports. So I think this application, it's the bridge, and this e-commerce is a bridge between the stores and the customer as well. So it's very important, I would say.
I do love the incentive to move your 4 letters from the sofa. I do love that coming from brands. Listen, so basically, we wanted to dedicate this episode to the new trend. Well, not so new anymore, but things are changing so fast. The zero-click trend. The fact that people, users, consumers don't necessarily need to click a lot to purchase nowadays. So I would like to ask you, like, in the face of the LLM revolution, how should the massive retail brands such as Decathlon approach this new zero-click trend?
Yes, it's a huge evolution from the perspective of the content, learning about the content from the customer. So would you imagine a few years ago that would be the end of this 10 blue links that we have in a Google? Would you ever imagine this? I think it would be very difficult to imagine that time. And as well, very difficult to imagine that this era of the PDP as product detail page, as a customer entry point is as well about to finish. So there's a huge revolution coming, and I guess I'm not the only one speaking about this. All around the world, they're saying that this is the huge switch. So definitely for such brands like the Decathlon, it's the most important to adapt for this revolution and be visible in the chain in the time that the clicks are disappearing from the search. So what are the key foundations of what we are doing at the moment? It's like obviously building this. We need to definitely focus on building our visibility outside our own site. So in the new era of LLM, whatever you say about yourself is just a gossip. What's the most important? What others are speaking about you. So you should be thinking not only to be visible and having a strong content at your own website, but as well about different portals all around. Like the places, for example, that are getting its huge importance, and Decathlon as well is trying to be. It's like basically all of the social communities. Would you ever imagine that would be the renaissance of Reddit and also the forums? Let's imagine the forum of someone who is the fisherman. That's a new renaissance, but it's getting super important to be visible there as well. And you need to be visible there, but it means that the customers and the people needs to speak about you, needs to speak positively about you. And of course, not only this, but as well also the news portals, ONETs, news agents. You need to be visible there. So, but as well, you need to be visible in some sort of particular way. So, this visibility needs to be basically based on the quality of the content, right? So, if you have a forum, someone needs to write about you and needs to be the real person with real face, real comments. If you are visible in Onet, it's not like you will right now create the article that doesn't bring any value, but in order to be visible, LLM is basically favoring this content that is based on the real data, based on using the videos at the best, right? So that's super important. As well, Decathlon as a brand, since as I have mentioned, we are building the ecosystem, sports ecosystem, it's very important to be basically visible in these local communities, right? So Decathlon, for example, we are actively working with via Decathlon Go that we are organizing in the small cities, different sports. We are building our own communities that then basically sharing the positive information and content about you.
Yeah, like everything you say sounds very organic, in the sense that nowadays brands need to focus much more on building something genuine in the physical world to become relevant to the people.
Isn't it good?
It's fantastic.
From perspective, is user is finally we are empowered, not the huge brands, that there will be overpaying on Google Ads to be visible. Finally, actually, the voice moves to the user, moves to the customer. Finally, the quality of the content basically will get improved, right? Because it will be the favorite one. Like also, what's important, of course, from perspective of brand like Decathlon, you shouldn't forget. You should always, of course, take care about the technical aspects. Building the things outside is very important, but as well the technical aspects as well, right? So I just don't want to create a theory that it means that the SEO is dead, right? No, you should still take care about the technical SEO, because this AI robot, needs to scan you, needs to basically understand your content as fast as is possible, right? So of course you need to take care of it, but as well you need to build the content in a way that it's no longer, the inserting massively the keywords that actually from the perspective of the human, I cannot read this. But actually you are filling it with the facts. You're putting it on a form that it's readable, and you can understand the content since 40 to 50 days, right? So I think right now, of course, we are witnessing the huge change that brands needs to adapt, but as well from the perspective of the user, we are as well witnessing the huge change that we are finally empowered to basically to boost content that is relevant.
Exactly. And to promote the brands that we really relate to. Okay, so basically, this is, like I said before, is moving so fast. The LLM-based search is already a basis for business. Even here at Netguru, we get leads coming from ChatGPT more often than not. So basically, where do you think this is all going? How do you think this revolution will completely reimagine the e-commerce landscape in the next, say, 2-3 years?
So I'm continuing what I said. I think it's high time to say goodbye to search bar, because I imagine and I feel that the shopping will be simply conversation, right? So basically, this is about to finish. This is the first point that I want to mention. The second point that I'm seeing is like I don't know if you had a chance to see recently because I don't want to move that much far, like 2, 3, 4 years. Just check what happened recently with the update of Gemini, right? So finally, you can buy from multiple vendors directly in AI interface. Of course, in the European Union, it will take a little bit of time that will be released, but in USA, it's already available. So as well, the new recent Gemini update, yes, it's create the visual product tables and making it easy to compare the products. So I think in Poland, for example, we are very bound to some sort of the comparison business websites such as Seneo, right? What's gonna happen to them, right? Since customer that no longer needs to basically needs to enter them to compare the product, right? Because right now he will have a real answer. And like if you look at the perspective of connecting the all sort of means of payments to such sort of universal card, I think that right now we will be witnessing the rise of the new channel for the e-commerce business, right? So right now, for example, we have a website, we have a mobile web as a channel of online business. Right now, the new one is coming, and the case is how we will basically adapt there. What I'm as well seeing, apart from basically death of the search bar that I'm predicting, is the hyper personalization by LM will go deeper and deeper, and I can imagine the case that basically there will be hyper personalization that level that you're entering let's imagine the product page of Decathlon.pl, and the product description will be adapted to you according, for example, to your level of sport or what sort of type of the person you're single or your family, because it should change change a lot. So that's how I'm seeing the next 2-3 years. How about you?
Well, what we keep on talking about on our company social media and on the blog is how conversational commerce really drives higher returns. When you do it right, when you have the right infrastructure in place and you have the right kind of experience, people do, and let me state it in a correct way, people do buy more than they intended to. So this is the same thing that happens in a physical store where you have a really good sales assistant who's just all over the place and who keeps on bringing you items that match what you have, or keeps on asking whether you need this or that, or maybe you're interested in this or that. As you're buying a particular product, you might be into something else, or you might have a family, or you might have a partner. So this kind of upselling right now is happening right in front of our eyes, and it's already become very efficient. And it also raises a couple of ethical issues. And so people are wondering, and even on our very own social media channels, people are sometimes commenting, like, if that's the way to go, because we might be creating some kind of patterns that are hidden, that are just too effective for people to ignore, and we might be creating, a future problem. Good news for the companies, maybe worse news for individual, finance. But that's just an issue that's coming up. And I see that our audience is talking about it and commenting on it and thinking about it. What we know for sure already is conversational commerce and agentic solutions around product discovery, do work. And that's why everyone's implementing.
Yes, I see that it do work as well. I'm observing the market. One of our competitors, JD Sport, agentic commerce, launched with strong, basically, usage of the conversational search. What's my theory here is that, from perspective of such brands, like big brands, conversational, like, it doesn't mean that all of the websites, mobile apps will disappear and all of the customers will move to the conversational search, right? Because we need to look which type of the people has the highest absorption of this technology. Is this new young generation? Obviously, this new young generation right now, they are like 18, 22, not basically having the biggest wallet, but they will grow up with this, and soon they will be definitely dominating after a few years. So it's very important, I think, for the brand to catch up with this technology and as well be down there.
But also there is movement to online that's it's happening for years. But there's also many changes being introduced in physical stores where we blend experiences, right? When there's for example, conversational solutions in store, or retail media is playing a larger and larger role across brick and mortar. I don't know if you have thoughts around this, but there's also this undercurrent that goes in the opposite direction, that people are missing physical stores, and physical stores maybe also play a different role than they used to. Like a brand hub that lets you experience things in a different way, right? So yeah, it's the changes are go in both directions.
No, obviously, you cannot exclude anyhow the physical part, physical stores. What we believe is like the power of channel. All of those elements basically need to exist, and the stores are super here important. And from perspective basically of the physical stores, and once we speak about the brand like Decathlon, so as you can imagine, our stores are usually huge. They have lots of sports, lots of type of different level of sports, and obviously the customers demand an answer and support for if this, for example, tennis racket would be good for me. Yes, I don't know. Did you play tennis? Have you had a chance to ever play
That's not
tennis?
my strong thing. No.
But it's very difficult sport, and actually the racket here is super important. So once the customers are entering the store, obviously they would like to have the best answer. But the number of the physical workers, of course, cannot be always enough. So what are the solutions being applied? For example, in Czechia, the neighboring country of Poland, is like there is the AI support that is responding. They might respond for all of your needs, speaking very human, I would say, looking as well very human, and supporting you in this selection of this tennis
in
racket.
store or online?
Yes,
in store. Yeah, that's so fantastic. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Mm-hmm.
So that's a very supportive part, let's say.
And when it comes to agentic commerce, can you give us a couple of examples of really cool implementations? It can be any brand, but everyone's experimenting now, trying. So we like to learn from others and see what's happening in the real world. Anything comes to your mind?
First example that comes to my mind is what's happening actually in Poland, which is around the Van Halski. I don't know. Did you have a chance? Have you had a chance to hear about it?
No. Go on.
So InPost, one of the biggest European delivery company in Europe, I would say, is about to launch the marketplace that basically will be based on agentic commerce and the conversational search, right? So and that will be the only possibility. You will not be able, for example, to use the search bar to find the product. So I think this is the huge chance for the e-commerce, having a huge chance for the e-commerce, but as well it might be disruption in the Polish ecosystem, e-commerce ecosystem, especially having in mind that Allegro is this dominant one. So also is coming InPost, and InPost purely based on the new technology. And I'm truly hopeful. The invention of the parcel locker, the InPost is pioneering with it, and I think they make the biggest success here. So I'm pretty convenient that pretty sure that as well it will provide a huge chance and a huge victory for them, especially that they are of course they will push technology like this there, but as well they don't have to be, let's say, afraid about the value chain of the delivery, because they are as well having the biggest network of parcel lockers around the world, and what means that delivery is being taken care, but as well they are working with the biggest brands, because InPost is one of the most common delivery method in Poland. So I'm foreseeing the huge chance for this, and I'm strongly rooting for this project. Of course, I cannot as well forget about the project like about the JD Sport, the competitor that he has already launched. Obviously, from perspective of since it's a competitive brand, we are observing this, but we need to take under consideration that the JD Sport and the Decathlon, it's positioned themselves a little bit different, especially about which target group we are targeting. Right, we are, of course, sportsmen naturally, but as well the families. Our very important customer base. JD Sport is mostly hitting this the new young generation that is seeking for the new trends products, mostly like Nike, Adidas. Of course, such group of young people is obviously easily absorbing this technology. But I'm seeing the huge potential in agentic commerce in the sports for the sports retailer, because of course you need to keep in mind one point here, and agentic commerce, it might be the huge ally of the human being, especially once you imagine, for example, preparation for the marathon. Did you ever had a chance to run a marathon?
Oh, I wouldn't. No, I do run, but that's too long of a distance for me. Like the most I do is 10K, and then I can feel my joints, and my joints are saying, no, this is enough.
So as you can imagine, that requires preparation, and you cannot run in the flip-flops, right? So and you have your past injuries and past problems. So as I can imagine, this agentic commerce is super helpful regarding the selection of the articles for how to run, but as well to prepare you within the same channel the training plan, how to reach these 40 kilometers. And for these 40 kilometers as well, you need to have some sort of proper supplementation. Yes, because as I said, 10 kilometers is not 40 kilometers. So 40 kilometers will basically erase all of your nutrition values. So in that perspective, for example, incorporated agentic commerce into sport is perfect, because it can basically help you about selecting the right nutrition, but as well remind you about the constant replenishment of it. Yes. And as I can imagine, this usage of sports articles, the durability should be long, but as well, it doesn't last forever. So as well, the information that can be included is like, hey, you reach, for example, 20-25 kilometers, upgrade your shoes straight away. And or even on the basis of your running results, hey, most probably you are missing something in your sports equipment. How about getting, for example, the good Garmin watch that will be telling you speed up, right? So as I see that there's a huge chance that is behind the agentic commerce in the e-commerce ecosystem, and Decathlon as well sooner or later will join this race and participate by using this method.
Moving on to the nearest future, apart from conversational commerce and agentic commerce in general, what do you see coming? What's interesting in your opinion?
From my perspective, I know that this main meeting is mostly about the AI, but let's not forget about some sort of different trend apart from the AI search, conversational search, like how much and how important is becoming the social media. We are spending more and more time there, right? And all of those basically social media providers felt that they can monetize it, right? So obviously the Facebook with its Meta and Instagram with its Meta is like the harvesting lots of money. But right now, who is joining the race and who will be very important is the TikTok. I don't know if you had the chance to hear about the TikTok shop. So basically, in all of the Western countries, already is becoming the revolution. So it's entering as a new channel that basically radically changes the model of of e-commerce, and as well changing the way of the product discovery, but as well it impacts that right now we are having the new channel that might be apart from standard marketplace to standard ecosystem, and the customer can basically purchase the things online in this TikTok shop, right? But as well, the TikTok shop revolution, from my perspective, impacts the way that the way how the content is looking now. It will basically as well evolve.
Mm-hmm.
So this is what I'm seeing as a huge trend. And the second, I think, the very important trend that we need to take under consideration, because we speak a lot of things about the brands. It's like the world is becoming tighter. The ecosystem is becoming tighter, with basically more marketplaces dominating the world, right? So I think once we look at the spectrum of the Poland, right? Who is the number one? It's Allegro, right? Western
Mm-hmm.
countries, Amazon, right? So
Mm-hmm.
what it means for the brands, hey, what if we become the marketplace as well? Forgot to mention that, yes, Decathlon is the biggest sports retailer, but as well it's the biggest sports marketplace. So Decathlon as well is joining this marketplace competition as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you? It's a great opportunity. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the last couple of minutes. I have a round of quick questions for you, and I'm looking for really quick answers. First things that come to your mind. So let's start with complete bullshit around AI and innovation.
Complete bullshit is that AI, once is being applied to the messy organization, will fix it. Once we will apply AI for the messy organization, we have messy AI. Especially once we look at the perspective of the Decathlon, you have lots of products. So if you don't have, for example, the right product informations and you enter with AI, your conversational search will be dropping the bullshit. So take care about the data, about the source, then apply AI.
Mm-hmm. Fantastic. Totally agreed. Moving on to leadership, an underrated leadership skill.
Okay, so the answer here is like this. It's a very good question. Let me think for a second. So once we have a perception about the leader. So we are always thinking must be strong, dominant, and always being right. But let's keep in mind that this guy should basically know how to say, I don't know, but you are the best guys around me to advise me the best decision and tell me that I'm wrong and I can be wrong. So that's very important.
Saying I don't know, basically.
Yeah.
I like it because it's very genuine, it's very open, and it builds trust. And it's not very common, I'd say. I love that. And the last one is your favorite trick for getting your team's attention.
As well, easy question. Since I represent the sports brand, sports company, and our mission is basically to make everyone sports accessible, and as well make everyone doing the sports. I think instead of starting the call, hey, how are you doing? We always try to make some sort of a cool warm-up, sports warm-up. It might be looking natural once we are in the office and the guys are running around the table, but it must be looking super funny once we are in a home office and doing some sort of that weird moves, but warming us up in front of the monitor, especially if it's your wife or child that might see that you are doing some sort of insane job.
A warm-up is something I actually would like to implement myself, so thank you for that. I've never done it, and it sounds like the best thing you can do if you're doing our kind of job in front of a computer. Thank you, Aleksander. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Lots of insights, and thank you for sharing how you do it at Decathlon too. I really appreciate it, and I think our audience will appreciate it. Thank you so much. Have a beautiful day. And hope to see you in the future. Maybe we'll talk about some other phase of technology and e-commerce.
I hope to see you in the future, and I definitely invite you if you want to take up the tennis, feel free, or take up the marathon, feel free. I will be always happy to do sports with you as well.
Thank you so much, Aleksander. Have a good day.